Welcome back to the A&A Show featuring Andrew Santangelo
and Austin Paul.
Today we're going to recap Week 5 NFL games and break down what the best games were of the week, and later on give our Week 6 head-to-head picks. To start off, the scores: Thursday night matchup, Arizona at San Francisco. The Cardinals pulled off the win 33-21. The New England Patriots, in the return of Tom Brady, beat the Cleveland Browns 33-13. The Detroit Lions beat the Philadelphia Eagles 24-23. The Indianapolis Colts beat the Chicago Bears 29-23. The Miami Dolphins lose to the Tennessee Titans 30-17. The Redskins beat the Ravens. Texans lose to the Vikings 31-13. Steelers beat the Jets 31-13. Falcons beat the Broncos 23-16. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Bengals 28-14. The Buffalo Bills win 30-19 over the Rams. The Oakland Raiders beat the Chargers 34-31. And the Sunday night matchup, the Green Bay Packers beat the New York Giants 23-16. And the Buccaneers beat the Panthers. So to start off this week, we're going to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles and Detroit Lions game. What are your thoughts on the game?
I think you should start off since you're a Eagles fan. Give us your thoughts real quick.
Okay. I just want to thank the refs for blowing that game.
Saw that coming.
14-2 penalties. That's a bit ridiculous in my opinion. I don't know. But anyway, the big problem in this game was the defense came out flat in the first half of this game. I don't know why, because they're coming off the bye week. So instead of what usually helps team, the bye week completely hurt the Eagles here. The offense looked fine to me for most of the game. What killed them was the penalties. 14 penalties is ridiculous. That's just undisciplined. And I think Doug Peterson needs to fix that. And especially after the bye week, I don't understand how you do that. But Carson Wentz looked fine to me. He did throw his first interception, but to me that's just because it's, on a Hail Mary deep ball. If Matthews doesn't fumble the ball there, Wentz doesn't even make that throw. So the interception doesn't concern me at all. I like what I saw from Wentz. After going down early, they didn't back down. So for me, the biggest problem in this game was the defense because of the amount of missed tackles they had and just couldn't find a way to tackle anyone, really. So that was my biggest takeaway was the defense in this game was disappointing.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, Andrew. Carson Wentz, he played good. He had the one interception though on that last Hail Mary, but like you said, if Ryan Matthews never fumbled the ball on the previous possession by them, then that would have never happened. So, I guess Dak Prescott's last rookie quarterback left hasn't thrown a pick. Just saying. But yeah, back to the Eagles. Ryan Matthews had a late game blunder on his part, and I think that cost him because they were up by 2 points at that time whenever he fumbled the ball, and I think it was like third down and 8 or something like that, and he fumbled the ball and Lions got it and I think at their own 30, 35 yard line, and just kicked a field goal and won it with about a minute and a half left, I think, and that's how the game ended. But it's a tale of two different halves for the Eagles defense, giving up 21 in the first and 3 in the second. They just have to fix their first half play, and they could easily come away through this one because they only got 3 points in the second half. They shut them down for pretty much 27 minutes of the second half, not including the last 3 minutes of that half. For the second half, they could have easily won this game, I think, if their defense could have played a little bit better. A little bit better and cut down on the penalties a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. If Matthews doesn't fumble that ball, Lions get shut out in the second half, and the Eagles win by 2. So even though it wasn't the best game of the season, they did enough where they should have won. Then have one turnover going into the game, and then you turn the ball over twice in the final 3 minutes, and you lose your first game. So obviously, what's going to be big the rest of the year is not turning the ball over. But just a big thing with me, the other thing that bothered me was with coaching. I don't know why. After the game against the Steelers, you have Wendell Smallwood and Barner who lead the team in rushing. They don't even get one carry this game. So, it's not like Matthews or Sproles were having a breakout game or anything. Matthews only had 40 yards on 11 carries, so it wasn't like he was having a fantastic game where he had to get every touch. So I would like to see Smallwood and Barner get more involved.
Do you think that Ryan Matthews should should have more of a less role now that with the emergence of Smallwood and Kenyon Barner and Darren Sproles also playing pretty well in the passing game. Do you think that Ryan Matthews should take on a lesser role?
I mean, I'm fine with him getting 10 to 20 carries a game. That's fine with me, but I would just like to see you run the ball more. I mean, actually, if you don't get down by so much, you might actually run the ball a little bit more. I mean, 33 passes isn't that much. But another big thing in this game was, I think, that took away with some of it was the amount of times the amount of time the Lions took away each possession. I mean, they were having 6-minute drives each time they had the ball. So I don't think the Eagles had as many plays as they usually do in the previous games. But to answer your question, I would like to see Smallwood and Barner get more involved, or at least one of them. It just brings a different aspect because I think they're both quicker than Matthews. Matthews more is the
goal line.
Yeah, pound out for another yard. I mean, so to answer your question, yeah, I'd like to see them get more involved, and I guess that would have to limit some of Matthews' carries.
Yeah, I think that would really help them out if they had like a little three running back system kind of going on, with Darren Sproles being the passing back, obviously, and Ryan Matthews being kind of the short yardage or a goal line back, and then a Kenyon Barner or a Smallwood getting 5-10 carries a game, maybe like first down, second down play, something like that for them. But yeah, I think that that they played well. I mean, they played good enough to win the game. Just not the first half really, because they let 21 points. But I mean, if they just correct those for next week, they should be fine against the Redskins. But I mean, Kirk Cousins is playing pretty good right now, and I mean, you never know what could happen with that. Then also the Lions, we should talk a little bit about them. I mean, 2-3 right now. They are playing okay. They're not playing that great, but I mean, Theo Riddick played fantastic for them yesterday. Had 2 receiving touchdowns, and I think that was just like a big spark for them in the first quarter because he had the first 2 touchdowns for him, and I think that was a huge spark for that offense to get them going a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions defense actually played better than I expected, and honestly, I completely undervalued this team. But I think Matt Stafford looked really good. He, without too many weapons, he can still throw the ball. He can throw a bullet and get the throw a pass in between defenders, and it impressed me. And with Marvin Jones having that big game last week, and then getting shut down at 35 yards, I mean, the Lions found a way to win this. And like you said, Theo Riddick had a good game. He broke a ton of tackles, which led to both touchdowns. And I mean, I don't see them going to the playoffs or anything.
No, not at all. I don't see that either.
I think, but for the Lions' standpoint, they played a good game. Didn't have any managed the penalties well, and going from there, I think they can build off this win, giving the Eagles their first loss, and it should be a momentum builder for the Lions going into next week wherever they play.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see if they can keep up the momentum. But I'm like, yeah, if you think about it, I mean, if you take away the late game fumble by Matthews, I mean, Eagles could have won, but at the same time, Lions still would have had 2.5 minutes left to make a play or get a drive going for them. So I mean, you never know what could have happened if Matthews had in front of the ball. I mean, easy Matthews Stafford could have taken them downfield and they could have won the game off a field goal just like what they did. But I mean, it happens. You have late game blunders. But, I mean, this one just really costly, especially because the Eagles came into this one undefeated, and they had a lot of momentum coming out of the win against Pittsburgh, 31-3, and then out of the bye week where they had a week of rest. And, I mean, they will, hope to bounce back next week.
Yeah, I think that's what hurts most is that this was a game you should have won, and with the upcoming schedule, you kind of needed this game now with a bunch of division games, then up top, up tier opponents in the Vikings and eventually the Packers, Seahawks, and all so the schedule's only gonna get tougher, and this was just the game you should have won. And people that are saying Matthews should get cut or benched, I just don't. I mean, everyone's gonna fumble eventually. It just turned out to be at the end. I think you should still stick with Matthews as the starter.
Yeah, I completely agree. So we're gonna move on to the return of Tom Brady against the Browns, 33-13. Patriots win that one, proving they're good 4-1. And Cleveland Browns fall to 0-5 on the season. I mean, Brady looked great out there. He had 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, all to Martellus Bennett. And I mean, he came back at a fantastic time where they were just 3-1, and things are gonna take off from there for the Patriots. I think that they are maybe the second best team behind Minnesota right now.
Yeah, it looked like Tom Brady didn't miss any games, honestly. He didn't show any signs of rust. So whatever he did to stay in shape and stay looking like Tom Brady, he did fantastic. And, I mean, what another big thing with the Patriots was, I mean, the amount of different players they used in this game. I mean, Hogan with 114 yards, Gronkowski 109 yards, Bennett 3 touchdowns. Their go-to receiving running back 63 yards, and then even mixing in the running game with Blunt getting a touchdown. I mean, the Patriots are probably top 3 team in the NFL. I mean, it is the Browns, so I don't know, but the way they played Brady, like hitting Bennett, the way the offense was run, it didn't look like they missed anything. And then the Browns lose Kessler, so they're down to the 4th string quarterback, and Charlie Whitehurst. Whitehurst, and 182 yards and a touchdown, interception. So, and then Crowell got shut down. So even the Patriots defense came to play yesterday, and it looked like the dangerous team.
Yeah, but I mean, what's new? Patriots are always going to look good. I mean, it's just how they are every single year. They're gonna play fantastic against whoever they play. But now Browns are only team in NFL history, I think, to have five people throw a touchdown, throw a pass for them in a season. So I mean, it's only been like 5 games.
Another thing from this game was I think Patriots still have yet to find Julian Edelman to get involved a lot. So once they get him, it's just another weapon. I mean, he only has 35 yards. I don't think he's a touchdown yet. So no. I mean, I don't know what they're like. I don't seem to like missing him much because they're 4-1. But once they get Edelman involved, like he was last year and previous years, they're only gonna get more dangerous, which is scary to think about.
I don't think. I mean, I think that Edelman's gonna get involved. I mean, there's no way he can be left out because he's their best wide receiver if you don't include the tight ends. And I mean, he's just a fantastic slot receiver for him. And I mean, he's going to get his yards. I mean, whether it's next game, the week after that, I mean, he's going to get his catches, his touchdowns, and he's going to make hit a lot of plays for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, I think. Then also the Browns. I mean, yeah, like you said, their offense clearly got shut down by the Patriots defense this week. I mean, they only had 27 yards rushing on 22 carries. I mean, that's pretty pathetic if you ask me for any team. And then I mean the receiving game, I guess, kind of made up for it. But I mean, whenever you play the Patriots, you have to do a lot more than just 249 receiving yards. But I mean, what are you gonna do? It's the Patriots, and they're a tough team to beat, especially whenever Tom Brady is under center for him.
Yeah, I mean, another thing is the receiving core for the Browns is obviously not one of the best, and you see him Pryor starting to, as he had that good start, teams are starting to focus more on him, so he's starting to lose the touches he had, and now Barnage seemed to get more involved yesterday. But it'll be interesting to see how that works out, and especially with the quarterback's problem. Browns have been in trouble, and obviously in a lot of trouble now, going to their 4th string quarterback. But moving on, we'll go to the Atlanta Falcons at Denver Broncos game, where the Falcons gave the Broncos their first loss, 23-16, in what was Paxton Lynch's first career start. I mean, the Falcons look pretty good right now. I mean, one of the big things was their defense struggling early, but the offense was scoring enough to win. And yesterday you saw the offense put up 23, which I think was a season low for them, but the defense had their best game of the season, only giving up 16. And right now it looks like the Falcons are the team to beat in that division. Matt Ryan, another touchdown. Devontae Freeman had a good day with 88 yards and a touchdown. And then the second-string running back, Coleman, being the leading receiver, kind of like a receiving running back there. And then Paxton Lynch struggled at times in this game. But what are your thoughts on this? And if Simeon's out, how concerned should Broncos fans be with Lynch?
I don't think that they should be concerned because, I mean, like, he played good for his first start. I mean, everyone's gonna struggle with their first start in the NFL. Obviously, I mean, no one's gonna be perfect. And I think that he played well enough to win, even though they did only scored 16 points. I think that he still played, pretty efficient. But I mean, being the offensive line really helped him out because he was sacked 6 times in the game for negative 40 yards, and also the running game wasn't really helping out either. They only had 84 yards compared to Atlanta's 122 rushing yards. And so, I mean, like, he just needs some help right now from the offensive line and the running game if he wants to have more success than this game. But I think that they'll be fine with Paxton Lynch because, I mean, Trevor Siemian was doing just fine, and I think that Paxton Lynch is, just as good, if not maybe even better, because he is like 6'7". He's a pretty big quarterback out there, and I think that I think that they'll be just fine if Paxton Lynch is going to be the starter for the next couple of weeks. But the Falcons are looking like a pretty good team. I mean, 4-1. Broncos this week. Last week Carolina, and I mean they're playing pretty good football right now, and I think that they're obviously the team to beat in that division. With Matt Ryan playing good, Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, the two-headed monster at running back, and then Julio Jones was shut down this game, but I mean like they didn't really need him because Tevin Coleman had 132 receiving yards, and I think that their offense is really clicking right now along with their defense.
Yeah, I think the way Matt Ryan's playing right now, I think he'd be still the early favorite for MVP. Honestly, I don't know who else deserves it right now at this time, but
Elliott.
I don't know about that. Anyway, Matt Ryan deserves MVP to this point in the season. I mean, just the way he's mixing in all of his receivers. Again, like you said, Julio Jones had an off game this week, only putting up 29 yards, but still found a way to win this game. And I think the big thing was the Falcons defense coming up with a couple turnovers in this game, and led to some points. So all in all, I think right now the Falcons will be the leader in the division, and most likely come out of that division with how bad the Panthers are struggling, especially now that Cam Newton's out. So you could, crap. Let's say talk about tonight's game. I think I mentioned tonight's game, but anyway. So with the way the Panthers are struggling, especially with Cam Newton missing last night's game, just going forward, it's going to be interesting to see how that division plays out. But Falcons are the front runners.
Yeah, I think that once all said and done, I think Falcons will be in the playoffs from that division. Because I mean they're 4-1. The next closest I think is Jacksonville, 2-3.
Matt Jackson.
Oh no, they had a bye this week, didn't they?
Jacksonville's in the AFC.
AFC.
Jacksonville's in the
Jacksonville.
Texas.
I'm thinking Tampa Bay.
It's
Tampa. I'm thinking Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, Carolina.
Yeah, they played Carolina last night, and I just don't think any of the teams in that division are close enough to compete with the Falcons right now, especially in that explosive offense. But go back to the Broncos real quick in the running game. C.J. Anderson hasn't been great since his first maybe game or two. I mean, every game since his first game, he's pretty much gone down in yardage. He had 92 first week, 74 next, 37 the week after that, 49 against Tampa Bay, and then 41 yesterday. I mean, he hasn't, produced like he should be right now because of their struggling passing game and their Siemian being hurt. And I mean, they're going to need C.J. Anderson to start being more productive on the ground if they want to win more games because I mean they can't rely on a rookie quarterback to lead them to the playoffs. They're gonna have to rely on their veteran running back who has been there and he's done that and he knows what it takes to win.
Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time with quarterbacks with less experience or something. They need to get built in. They need the running game to help them out. You see, Wilson had Marshawn Lynch, so that helped him get going.
Dak Prescott has Elliott right now.
Dak Prescott has Elliott. A couple years ago, you saw Romo and Murray. So, I mean, it helps the quarterback out to have the running game because then defenses focus on the running game, which then opens up the passing. So,
yeah, that's a good point.
It would be big for Lynch to get Anderson going and move on from there.
Yeah, for sure. And especially because, I mean, the receivers haven't produced all that much this year so far. I mean, no one had over 100 yards this game, and I don't even know if they've had one all year yet. But I mean, they look to struggle Sunday against the Falcons. But I mean, if they can't get that running game going, like we said, then I think that they'll be fine if they have a rookie quarterback back there starting for them. But we're gonna move on to an undefeated team, to the only one left undefeated, Vikings, where they beat the Texans 31-13. I mean, Vikings. I mean, we said it last week and the week before that. They look like that they're the best team right now because of that defense, and that defense looks maybe a little bit better than the Broncos team from last year. But I mean, it's all going to come down to see what they do to see what they do in the playoffs if they do make it there. But I mean, judging off it right now, I think that they're going to be in the playoffs, and I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with because by then they're going to have Adrian Peterson back, and I think that I mean, you never know. I mean, Vikings look pretty good right now, and I think that they could make a run for it right now. But I mean, they look to just shut down Texans Sunday, and I think that they're going to continue that as the weeks go on.
Yeah, first going off for the Vikings standpoint, Sam Bradford looks really good. Seeing some of those passes he made yesterday they were like perfect passes.
Mm-hmm.
And people were concerned. I mean, you're missing Bridgewater, Adrian Peterson, and in this game you're missing Stephon Diggs as well. So you're missing 3 of your starting players, and I think they're missing some linemen too. So you're wondering who's going to step up in this game, and Bradford found Adam Thielen for 127 yards and a touchdown. So stepped up big there for Diggs, and even Kyle Rudolph didn't even get that much involved, only getting 2 passes that game, or 2 catches. So honestly, I think it's the Vikings defense and special teams on top of that with this another special teams touchdown. So they're finding ways to score besides on offense, which I mean that's going to be a big part of the game. You get those extra touchdowns, you're going to win the games. But so I mean, going against the Texas defense, who I think is the division favorite coming into the year, or one of the favorites.
Yeah, they have to be.
But I think in this game you saw then this J.J. Watt big time, and I think this could be somehow how the season's going to progress for the Texans. I mean, Watt's a major force in that defense, obviously, and you're missing that guy. That's going to open up plenty of other plays for the opponent's offense because you don't have to fear that force in there.
Yeah, for sure. The loss of J.J. Watt is clearly going to have a huge impact on this team, judging from Sunday's game. But yeah, I mean, their defense, came to the season projected to be, top 5, top 10 defense in the league, along with their offense projected to be maybe top 10, top 15 in the league. And I mean, both sides of the ball just really underperformed so far. I mean, Brock Osweiler and Lamar Miller were supposed to be the future backfield of the team, and both of them haven't done that much all year. I mean, I just don't know what to say about it. I mean, they're just struggling right now, and Lamar Miller was supposed to be top 5 running back this year, and he just hasn't performed up to those standards, I think, so far. And I think they're just really suffering from his lack of explosiveness off the line of scrimmage. And I mean, back to the defense. They are struggling with the lack of J.J. Watt, and their secondary hasn't done all that great so far, and I think that was clear this game how much they struggled.
Yeah, and then another big thing is Brock Osweiler. He continued to struggle. I mean, 19 for 42. That's 23 incompletions right there, and an interception. So he's not on his game, and I mean, after paying him all that money in the offseason, you would like to see him do a lot better than what he has been doing, and especially in this game. I mean, I know the Vikings have a top defense, but I mean, you gotta find a way to get going in this. So, like you said, the running backs struggled. I mean, Lamar Miller, another big off-season free agent, gets outran by Alfred Blue in this one by almost 20 yards. And then the Vikings shut down gave up 56 yards to Hopkins. He managed to get that touchdown towards the end, I think it was. But I mean, going forward, like we said before, the Vikings are the team to beat in the NFC right now. I think there's no question, especially when Peterson comes back. They're only going to get better.
So we're gonna move on to the Cowboys versus Bengals game. Cowboys won 28-14. Cowboys jumped out to a 28-0 lead after 3 quarters, and Bengals got a couple garbage time touchdowns in the fourth. I mean, Cowboys offense is clicking right now, and I mean that defense has been pretty solid all year, and a lot of people expect them to be one of the worst in the league. They look to be a pretty good defense Sunday against the Bengals. But what about you, Andrew? What do you think?
Yeah, the Cowboys are obviously a dangerous team from what we just saw yesterday. I mean, including me, I think a lot of people counted on the Bengals to win this game, and I mean, just from what you seen from the defense so far, shutting them out into the fourth quarter yesterday, they don't even have every defender. Wait till they get, I can't remember their names, but get everyone back from the suspensions and stuff.
Yeah, we got to wait till like week 10 for that one.
This team's only gonna get more dangerous, man. I think you're getting a couple guys back this week.
We got DeMarcus Lawrence back this week.
So I mean, this team, and then you got Romo coming back. I still think Prescott should stay the starter, but Jerry Jones said yesterday Romo was the starter. But Prescott looks like it'll be him and Wentz, the two best rookie quarterbacks right now. Prescott's got him beat, I guess, after not throwing an interception, as he broke that. I broke Wentz's record for that, and now he's chasing Tom Brady for that. So we'll see how close he gets to that. But again, Ezekiel Elliott, another over 130-yard game, 2 touchdowns. I mean, right now I think Elliott's the front runner for Rookie of the Year. I think he would beat Prescott.
I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, whenever Romo comes back, I mean, Dak Prescott could just be the backup again, which I don't agree with at this point because I think that they're playing pretty good right now with those 2 rookies back there. But I think Elliott is clearly the front runner for Rookie of the Year. I mean, he has to be. I don't know how else you could consider. Maybe Dak Prescott, maybe Carson Wentz. But I mean, this is Elliott's 3rd straight game rushing for over 130 yards. He joins Mike Anderson and Eric Dickerson as the only rookies to do that before NFL history. So that puts him in pretty elite company with the Hall of Famer in Eric Dickerson. And I mean, Cowboys' offense is clicking, and their defense, like I said earlier, has really performed. I mean they've only given up an average of 18 points per game. They gave up 20 the first week and lost to the Giants. They gave up 23 the next to the Redskins. I mean, then back-to-back 17-point games allowed, and then 14 this week. I mean, that defense has performed pretty good without some key players and like DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory. And I mean, like, I don't know, they're looking pretty good right now on defense, and I mean, I think that they could be a scary team to beat. I don't know about that. I don't know about scary just because defense, I mean, still a little bit unsure of them because, I mean, they haven't played, fantastic offensive teams. But, I mean, it's all good. I mean, we're going to see what that defense is really made of this week against the Packers. So we're going to see what happens with that. But I mean, yeah, the defense has played fantastic so far. I'm a pretty heavy Cowboys fan at this point with the way the defense has performed so far. And I mean, they've played good along with the running game. Elliott, I mean, I'm loving him right now. He's playing fantastic for us. And of course the offensive line is creating all those opportunities for him and Dak Prescott. I mean, were you watching the Cowboys game at all yesterday?
I didn't see too much of it, no. But
well, on one play, on Elliott's 60-yard run, I mean, offensive line gave him a good, 5-foot hole in the line, and he just took it all the way. No one could catch him, and I think that really showed the offensive line's ability, to block for the running back, and also Elliott's explosive speed that he has, which I mean he's known for, I would say, more of like a power back kind of. But I mean, yeah, he's a fantastic running back for the Cowboys so far, and I think that if him and Dak Prescott are the 2 that's sick in the backfield this season throughout, I think that they can have a lot of success. So, I mean, we're gonna see what happens with the situation whenever Romo gets back. I think it's supposed to be week 8 against the Eagles, but I mean, I don't know if he'll play then just because he is coming off an injury.
I hope he plays then.
I hope that he does, and I would love to see Dak Prescott versus Carson Wentz game. I think that'd be pretty fun game to watch, and I think that whoever wins that game could win Rookie of the Year, or based on the team. But yeah, I mean, Cowboys clicking right now, and they got a big game this week against the Packers. But I mean, I think that we should say something about the Bengals real quick. I mean, their offense really struggled this game. They were expected, to have a fantastic game. Adrian Green was expected to torch Dallas DBs, Morris Claiborne, Byron Jones, Brandon Carr. But I mean, they held him in check for most of the game. 4 catches for 50 yards. He almost had a touchdown in I want to say the third quarter. But Morris Claiborne, tipped the ball. He got pretty high off the ground, tipped it away from AJ Green, and I think that was a really big play in the game because I mean, it showed that Morris Claiborne was back and he was ready to go. And I think that, defense is playing pretty good right now. And I mean, the Bengals offense is struggling. They're 2-3 right now. They haven't played, fantastic football right now. And the offense needs to start stepping up if they want to start winning some more games because, the defense can win them, every game that they have. And their defense is a pretty solid defense, but, their offense is going to have to score points if they want to have any chance of winning games.
Yeah, Cincinnati should be concerned right now. They're not playing good football at all. Yesterday Cincinnati was the favorite in the game. Against the Cowboys defense, which is known not to be one of the best in the league, especially with missing key players. You only have Bernard rush for 50 yards, and your starting running back Jeremy Hill goes for 12 yards. So between the two running backs, you only get 62 yards out of that. You're not even turning the ball over, so you're just not moving. You're not moving the ball downfield at all. Like Andy Dalton had 0 interceptions, but you don't score till the fourth quarter. That just means there's nothing clicking on your offense, and that's not a good sign, especially at this point in the season. You're a quarter in, you're 2-3. You also have the Steelers in your division, so I think Cincinnati needs to be concerned a little bit. Especially, like you said, AJ Green was expected to have a good day against the Cowboys secondary, and he gets held for 4 catches. So I don't know if it was the play calling or what, but. You gotta give a lot of credit to Dallas because, like you said, you had the batted ball, the green. So, Dallas just completely outplayed Cincinnati in this game, and I think it showed Dallas is. I think they're gonna say a little undervalued with the rookie quarterback, rookie running back, and I think you saw it in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I think the reason. I would think Cowboys are getting a lot of attention around just because of Elliott and Prescott starting for them, but no one's really talking about them, winning the division. Really, after the injury to Tony Romo, everyone just counted us out. Everyone's picking the Giants or Redskins after that, pretty much. And Eagles and Dallas were just a lost cause just because we had rookie quarterbacks starting. And I think that Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz are doing a great job of proving all the doubters wrong for their respective teams. And I think that, I think it's going to come down to those two teams for who wins the division. And it's all. What do they play? Week 16, right?
Week 8 and Week 17.
Week 17, Cowboys Eagles play. I think that game's going to decide who wins the division because it happens every year, the last week of the season. NFC East is always decided by that. We're going to see what happens with that. But Dez Bryant missed this game. Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley stepped up in his absence. Cole Beasley got his first touchdown of the year. Cole Beasley, fantastic slot wide receiver for the Cowboys right now. He's had over 50 yards in each of the first 5 games, and he got his first touchdown this week. Terrence Williams played up to par this game for the second week in a row. Had 5 catches for 70 yards. Wynn played good, 3 catches, 43 yards. Elliott contributed in the passing game, 3 catches for 37 yards. I think that Cowboys offense is looking pretty good right now, although even though they missed, one of the best wide receivers in the league in Dez Bryant, I think that, everyone knows the role and they know when to step up whenever they need to. And I think that's why the Cowboys are 4-1 right now without Tony Romo first 5 game season. Dez Bryant missing the last 2 weeks, and I think that they're just playing pretty good right now. And they also got DeMarcus Lawrence back this week on the defense. I think he's going to help out. He didn't play that much Sunday, but it was just because it was his first game back from suspension, and they didn't want to overload him in his first week back. But I think that this week against Packers, he's going to be a focal point of that defense if they want to win that game. But Cowboys play great. Cincinnati's clearly struggling right now. They're going to turn that around pretty fast if they want to have any chance. It's already 5 weeks into the season. Surprisingly, time has flown, but time has flown by in the season. I mean, and Bengals 2-3 now. They're gonna have to start performing better if they want to make the playoffs. Especially looking like the Pittsburgh Steelers are gonna win the division. Right now, 4-1. I mean, Bengals gonna have to hope for a wild card position.
Yeah, I mean, going on with the Bengals, I don't think. I mean, you're 3 games behind the Steelers now, or 2 games behind the Steelers. Unless you win those head-to-head games, I don't think you're gonna catch up to them. And honestly, AFC is pretty good. I mean, they're gonna have to really get on a win streak. They're gonna have to fix something at practice, whether it's I don't even know.
Defensive side, I mean, they gotta do something because I mean, Cowboys got 4 sacks in the day. I mean, offensive line needs to improve. Cowboys are not known for pressure at all on the quarterback. And what we've seen for the first 4 weeks, I mean, they have 4 sacks today, and I mean, offensive line needs to step it up if they want to win, along with their offense just in general. Because I mean, they had 19 rushes for 96 yards, which I mean, it's productive, but I think that they need to get their running backs more involved if they want to win. Because I mean, like everyone knows, AJ Green is going to get touches. Tyler Eifert is expected to return in the next couple of weeks, I think. And I think that with the addition of Tyler Eifert, it's really going to help out. But I mean, they're going to have to win, more games right now if they want to have any chance at the playoffs. And I think it's all going to have to start next week.
Now we move on to our Week 6 picks. After last week, we both went 9-5 in our Week 5 picks, and then that puts us on the season tied as well at 25-19. Starting off our Week 6 picks, we'll start off with the Thursday night matchup between the 4-1 Denver Broncos and the 1-4 Chargers. I'm gonna pick Denver in this game as they're gonna come off the loss. They're gonna look for a bounce back win, and the Chargers are continuing to struggle. So Denver wins this one.
I want to pick the Chargers, but every time I pick them, they lose. I mean, they're scoring a lot of points, but I don't think they're going to score enough points to beat the Broncos this week. So I'm going to take the Broncos. 49ers Bills. I'm going to take the Bills in this one. I think 49ers are too up and down to beat the Bills right now. I think that Sean McCoy is going to have a pretty good day.
I'm going to choose Buffalo as well. They're a lot better than 49ers are defensively, offensively. Blaine Gabbert should not be starting, as I say.
I actually saw Chip Kelly might actually start Blaine Gabbert. Colin Kaepernick this week. He's gonna go through the practice and see what's gonna happen with that.
He did say that, but until he actually does it, I'm not gonna believe him.
No, Chip Kelly, so predictable.
I mean, I think Bills win this one kind of easily, but
yeah. Eagles, Redskins.
I'm going to take the Eagles in this one.
Kind of figured.
They're going to look for a bounce-back win. Defense is going to be a lot sharper, and the offense didn't play bad last week, so I think Wentz continues his success, and they'll get back to a turnover-free game, and the Eagles win this one.
I think that the Redskins are going to win this one. I think that Kirk Cousins is playing pretty good right now after struggling to start the season. I think that he's playing pretty good right now with Jordan Reed. Playing great also, but I mean, if Eagles won, I would not be surprised whatsoever, just because I feel like this game's a toss-up. But I mean, I'm gonna take home field right now. I'm gonna take home field right here. I'm gonna take the Redskins. I think they're gonna win. 0-5 Browns versus 2-3 Titans. I mean, I guess the Titans. I mean, Browns. I don't think this is gonna be a game that they're gonna win.
I'm going to pick the Titans as well. Honestly, I think they're starting to click. I think the chemistry's starting to improve, and DeMarco Murray, Mariota, they're starting to play well. I actually like what I'm starting to see from the Titans, especially in that game this week. They look pretty good. I think defense starts playing better. I think they could fight for that division if the Texans don't bounce back.
Yeah, for sure. Ravens, Giants. Who do you got?
I think I'm going to take the Giants in this game. I mean, obviously it's been in the NFC East, I hate to say it, but I think I'm not a big fan of the Ravens still. But I mean, especially coming off the loss to Washington, now you're in New York. I'm gonna take Giants. Odell and Eli Manning connect for a couple touchdowns.
I don't know about that. I think that Ravens can win this game. I think that their defense is, pretty good. They only gave up 16 points to the Redskins on Sunday, and I think that their defense is playing pretty good right now. And I think that their offense, I guess it's kind of clicking, but at the same time, it's not just because they don't have any big name players on their team really on offense. But I think that Ravens find a way to pull out the win in this one. But here's an interesting one: Panthers and Saints. Who you got?
I wish I knew if Cam Newton was playing.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
I'm gonna pick the Saints in this game. I think they're coming off a bye. They're coming off a bye this week. I think so at least. But
Yeah, they are.
I think Drew Brees is gonna connect. Is gonna get a good connection going. Coming off the bye, they had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and especially if Cam Newton's not 100% to go. Saints find a way to win this.
I think that Cam's gonna play. I'm sure he will. I mean, he is missing Monday's game, but I mean, that's just one game, and I mean, I'm pretty sure he was like 50-50, this week anyway. So I think that he's just resting this week just for precautionary reasons. But yeah, I think that the Saints are gonna win this one. I think that the secondary for the Panthers struggles once again against Brandon Cooks, and I think that Saints are gonna win this one. Bears and Jags. Who you got?
I'm gonna take Jacksonville on the road here. I think Blake Bortles is a pretty good quarterback as long as he can. As long as he has the time he needs from the line and stuff. And they're coming off that win against the Colts. They had a bye this week, but I think they'll still have some of that momentum building off that first win and pull off that win this week.
I'm gonna take the Bears surprisingly in this one. I think that Brian Hoyer is gonna play pretty good. I think that with the emergence of Meredith, he had like 170 yards receiving this week, or something. No, 130 receiving yards I think this week. Jordan Howard playing fantastic for him so far. He had 130 yards this weekend. I think that he's going to continue that strong performance. I think that Bears are going to come with this one a little bit of a risky pick, but I think that Bears can find a way to pull out the win in this one. Lions and Rams. I don't know. I think Lions are going to continue. Are going to improve upon their win against the Eagles this weekend. I think that Marvin Jones is going to have a good game. I think that Theo Riddick is going to continue his success out of the backfield. I think Lions are going to come with a win in this one.
I agree with you. I think Detroit pulls off this win. Matt Stafford is going to continue to play well. I would probably see Marvin Jones get more passes this game. I tell the Rams. I don't think the Rams are that good anyway. Even though they beat a couple good teams, but Lions win this game.
Steelers and Dolphins. I'm going to take the Steelers. I think that Dolphins defense is just not good enough to compete with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell and Big Ben.
Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this game as well. I think you saw it this week, the bounce back, or these past 2 weeks, bounce back wins. Big win over the Chiefs. I think the Steelers got all the momentum right now, and Dolphins aren't a good team.
I don't know who made the schedule for this week, but surprisingly, Patriots and Bengals is on a primetime game. It's on Sunday now, which I think that it should be. I think that's going to be one of the better games of the week. Patriots are home, Bengals are on the road, 3-2 versus 4-1. I think that Tom Brady continues to improve upon his performance against the Browns. I think that he's going to have a good game. I think that Rob Gronkowski is going to have a good game. I think that he's going to get his first touchdown of the year this weekend, and Martellus Bennett is going to continue to have success. And Julian Edelman, I think, is going to play pretty good, and I think that they're going to have a lot of success against the struggling Bengals defense.
I think the Patriots win this game pretty easily, just because of the way how bad the Bengals are struggling. I think Tom Brady's second game back had that game last week. I think Patriots just completely dominate this game.
Chiefs and Raiders. 4-1 Raiders versus 2-2 Chiefs. Who do you got?
I'm going to take Kansas City on the road with the upset, I think. Coming off the bye week, they'll find a way to get this game with Alex Smith, and hopefully Jamal Charles is going to be fully healthy now after kind of getting reps in that Steelers game, then gets the bye week, so he should be fully good to go. And I think the Chiefs defense is going to have a big step-back game.
I think that Raiders are going to come away with the win in this one. I think that Chiefs offense is just not all that great, and Raiders defense has played pretty good, but not great. But I think that they're going to play good enough to keep Alex Smith in check, along with Jeremy Maclin and Jamal Charles if he does play, along with Spencer Ware. And I think that the Raiders defense is going to be able to hold them in check for the most part. I think this one's gonna also be one of the better games of the week. Falcons and Seahawks. Falcons 4-1 right now. They just beat Carolina and Denver, the two Super Bowl teams from last season, versus the Seahawks coming off a bye week, and I mean they're looking pretty good as well. Seahawks are the home team, anyways. So I think I'm gonna take home field once again in this one. The Seahawks winning this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Seattle as well. I think defense is gonna come up to play for Seattle, coming off the bye week again. And then Christian Michael, I like the way he's playing. And then Russell Wilson gets back to healthy after that bye. So Seahawks full squad going in this game win.
Now here's the game: Packers and Cowboys, rematch from 2014 divisional round game where the controversial no catch call for Dez Bryant. I mean, I can't pick against my Cowboys, so I'm going to pick the Cowboys in this one.
I'm taking Green Bay in this game.
Hater.
Home field at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers is going to destroy that defense.
Oh, okay.
Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson connection, Eddie Lacy. It's going to be way too much for the Cowboys.
That's fine. That's what you said last week for the Bengals, but didn't happen. Yeah. So we're going to move on to Sunday night's game. Colts and Texans. I mean, two underperforming teams for so far this season. I'm going to have to take, I think the Texans in this one, they are 3-0 at home, and I think that they continue to have success at home. They're proving to 4-0 against Colts this weekend.
I'm going to take the Colts on the road in this game. I don't like the way the Texans are playing right now. They got shut out to the Patriots, get blown out this week. Brock Osweiler struggled big time this week. And I think Andrew Luck started to get going last week, and I think the Colts are coming to win that division.
So we're going to move on to Monday Night Football, the last game of the week, Cardinals and Jets. I think that Cardinals are going to win. I just think the Jets' offense is just too out of control right now, and I think that Cardinals still have one of the better defenses in the league. And I think that their DBs, Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, are going to have a lot of success against Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think if Fitzpatrick throws a couple more INTs on Monday night, I think Cardinals can come away with this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think coming into the season, this could have been a pretty good game, but Jets are struggling. Defense, offensively, I think, like you said, Cardinals come away with this win. And honestly, I'll predict Fitzpatrick gets benched in this game after throwing 2 picks.
Ooh, to Geno Smith?
Geno Smith or Christian Hackenberg. They got one of those guys.
Bring back Bryce Petty.
I mean, you can only throw so many interceptions before you need a statement.
Okay, so guys, that's going to do it for us today for the ANA show. I'm Austin Paul.
And I'm Andrew Santangelo.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Check back next week whenever we break down Week 6.